Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint, the show where we discuss everything West Ham. We get involved with you guys. My name's Nicky Hawkins. I'm here with the usual bunch. How are you, fellas?
Good, mate. Glad it's Friday. Everyone had a good week?
Yeah, you made a few quid?
I have.
Why you made a few quid? Sold loads of ice creams.
What's that?
He sold loads of ice creams this week.
Sunday. I have, yeah.
Did you get a new delivery of Twisters in?
Yeah.
What ones, though? The lime ones or the raspberry ones?
The lime ones.
Yeah, they're ones. What you all been up to? Anything?
No, not much, mate. Football this week, Ray. I got injured, didn't I, mate? But I've made a fucking honestly, mate. I think my body's like Mr. Miyagi's. Like I just recovered. Like I've just rested it, iced it, been constantly moving it, and yes, it's all right. It still hurts a bit bruised, but
it did look like a steak after it had been beaten with a tenderizer.
I'll be honest, mate. I fucking panicked me because I thought I broke something, and I was on a roll, wasn't I, Gray?
It was actually,
mate. I was banging them in left, right, and centre, but it happens. It happens to the best. It happens to Bowen. It happens to Ryan. That's my rule.
Both had to go off, didn't we, Ryan? Both had to go off halfway through.
I don't know why, Graham. I don't know why you bother anymore, mate. You've been being injured for the last 15 years.
I think Graham got sympathy pains. You know, like when your partner's pregnant and you start feeling the pain. Like, I was injured and he come off and he consoled me. I got straight in my car. I went, I ain't taking my boot or sock off. I'm getting straight in my car and going home.
Yeah. Am I joking, Scott? Has he not been injured at some point in the other for the last 15 years?
No, I've been all right. It's only last 4 months I was injured, and then I got a little niggle on the old injury on Monday. That's why I come off. But it was all right. It was all right.
I have to say that Graham is the Andy Carroll of West Ham Fan TV.
I'm not that bad. Fuck off. I'm not that bad.
He's always injured. All these little niggly injuries. Yeah, not like me and New Nick. You know,
how many times you broke
Scott, you got injured and then Jackson playing
twice.
Yeah. You got injured and you got scared to come back. Oh, I don't want to hurt myself again.
I've come back. I've come back and retired. You know?
Yeah, you come back as a manager. You took the easy way out.
Just because he just likes shouting at people on a Sunday morning.
A manager at 24 years old.
Listen.
I was a manager at 24 years old. I was a shit manager, but I was a manager all the same.
Yeah, but you was just shit at football. That's why.
Right, I'm going to tell you about Graham's injury. Right,
I was injured.
Me and Graham. I'm on the sideline running the team. Graham's playing centre half. We're 1-0 up against.
We're 1-0 up. Yeah. Sungate.
Side near the top of the league. Right.
That's a name I heard for years.
Yeah. Graham's playing well. Okay, we look like we're going to shut him out, no problem. He turns to me, he goes, what was it, your hamstring?
Yeah, hamstring.
My hamstring's a bit tight. I said, all right, don't go forward, just defend. Just stay at the back, just sweep up, let the others do all your running. Picks up the ball, has a mazy run upfield, ping goes his hamstring, off he has to go. We end up drawing 1-1. We had no other defenders to bring on. You know, that's how injury prone he is.
I've done my hamstring once. That fucking hurt, man.
Yeah, but you've done yours on your dance floor in O'Neill's.
Yeah, that is true. I've done it a few times, to be quite honest. Yeah, that's how unfit I was. But listen, I can see comments coming in already about the main subject, and this is always going to divide people's opinions, so we have to discuss it. Look, we've slapped £150 million price tag on Declan Rice. Is that enough? And let me explain to everyone what I mean by this. And I know this is going to rattle people, honestly. This is going to rattle people. But I don't think it is enough. I don't think it is enough money. He's irreplaceable. He's priceless, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you look at some of the comparisons that have, over the last few years, like Harry Maguire was, 80 million?
Yeah.
You know, Rice is definitely double that, so that's 160 there. But I think Rice is, as you said, for us he's irreplaceable. I said it on the podcast the other day. He can. I don't think Declan Rice will get the loving at another football club wherever he goes in the world that he does at West Ham. I think like I understand his ambition. Yes, he wants to win trophies. I understand that every player wants to win trophies. But I just think he's got such a good thing at West Ham at the moment, and he's still young, that we can still get a good another 2, 3, maybe 4 years out of him. You know, but listen, money talks and Sullivan walks. You know what I mean? He'll take anything, I think. And I think any bid close to 100 million, I think David Sullivan will take it.
The thing is, you got like people in the comment, like fans of other clubs going, "Oh, he ain't worth that. He ain't worth that." They're missing the point of slapping that price tag on. It's to deter other teams from showing an interest.
Yeah, but then they also, if City come in and offer 150 million, they've got no leg to stand on. They've got to accept it then, didn't they? Because they've already come out and said, well, we want 150. Someone to go here then, here's your 150. They can't then turn around and say, I'm in 150 plus 50. Help.
Everything is in his favour. You know what I mean? Like, you look at everything. He's like, what do you pay for when you pay for a transfer? You pay for quality. He's got that in abundance. Yeah. The price also rises when you're young. He's really young. The price also rises with experience and potential. Well, he's fulfilling his potential already by a long, like, far surpassing it. He's an England international with how many caps, Ryan? Do you reckon? 30, 20, 25?
Yes, I think it's got to be between 20 and 30 now.
Yeah, with 30 caps, he's going to be the England captain. He'll be the captain of any club that he goes to. And potentially, he could be the best in the world. Like, I don't see where people are sitting there going, he's worth... I see he's worth 60, 70 million. Listen, if you're going to put... It's not about English tax. It's not about, that sort of thing. But the way transfers are going, yeah, the amount of years that you'll get out of him, the amount of trophies that he'll win you, of course, it's going to be, I think, well worth 150 million pounds. Like, he's a 23-year-old kid playing on a world stage, fulfilling his potential. He's being, a lot of people say he's overrated. A lot of people in football say he's not overrated. That, I know who the ones I'm listening to. I'm listening to the people that are playing the game. They reckon he's brilliant. But everything is in his favour when it comes to 150 million. And we slap that sort of price tag on people. If, as Ryan said earlier, people saying he's worth 60, 70 million. Harry Maguire went for 80 million. At the end of the day, whoever owns the player sets the price. That is what he's worth to us. That is what it will cost. You won't be able to replace him. So that's got to be compensation for, trying to not just replace him, but improve on him. Like, I can't see why these people... I mean, lucky some of these people ain't in, like, football, because, people just laugh at people like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how can you turn around and tell me that he's worth 60, 70 million pounds max? Arsenal fans saying he's worth 60, 70 million pounds max when you've paid 75 million pounds for Pepe.
But this is the thing, right? You saw on TalkSport the other day, someone turned around and said that he's not worth that because he's not a match winner. And the thing that I find is that these people that say he's not worth that value of money are people that don't watch him week in, week out. Don't see how much he's gone forward, how well he's improved his game. That guy, when he plays for England, controls the entire of England's midfield. If you actually go back and watch every single game in the Euros when he stepped off that pitch and see how much England lost the midfield when he left the pitch, goes to show how important he is to an England side. Look, you've said it, Nick. Future, he's captain of the club, future England captain. Listen, there isn't a better player in his position on this planet now. And I don't care. You can sit there and throw Kante's name into the mix and players like that. Nobody's better than him. Nobody's got the potential that kid's got. He's growing and growing and growing. He gets better and better every week. He learns from every mistake. When he makes a mistake, he doesn't make that mistake again. For us, it would cost 150 million for us to just replace him, because we'd have to build a whole new team without him. He's that and that important. And that's what I think a lot of teams don't understand. They don't understand because it's they've got. When you look at Arsenal, they've got some top quality players, and they'll rate players like Saka and things like that. They're good players, but a Rice is in the mould of a Makelele. He's the type of player that holds a team together and will allow. Look, he goes to City somewhere like that. Them players going forward, they know they can lose the ball.
The thing is, Scott, it's interesting, Scott, you just mentioned Makelele because Graham Souness the other day said that Declan Rice is not worth that sort of money. He doesn't get enough goals. He's only scored 5 goals in his career. Makelele played over 700 games in his career and only scored 20 goals, 20 odd goals in his career. So his position weren't scoring goals. Declan Rice, don't get me wrong, he should be adding more goals to his game and probably a few more assists, but that's not his game at the moment. But what people got to remember is 3 or 4 years ago, he was a centre-back. This is a new role for him. Then he was defensive midfielder, and now he's getting forward more. So he's adapting his game every single season. So we might see him push on next season if he's with us. But that's sort of his game now. You see the way he gets it, and what does he do? He drops his shoulder, loses the players, and just drives forward. So
but that's the thing for me, Rise. When you watch him for England, where his job for Southgate gives him that job of, I don't want you going forward. You break up the play. You hold that midfield. You stop them players. When the fullbacks get forward, you protect the centre half. You drop in as a third centre half. The discipline he's got and his ability to read the game is far superior than a hell of a lot of players in that England side.
Yeah.
And that is why he stands out week in, week out. The Kanes, the Sterlings and all that, they're going to get the headlines. They're going to get the glory. But he will be as key to England and to whatever club he goes to if he doesn't stay with us as Makelele was to Madrid when Madrid were bossing everything.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is...
He's going to be the glue that holds the side together.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Yeah. And like, let me just take this. I know you want to say something, Gray. Look, Rice's quality, there's no argument, but I'm just saying the world has gone mad saying it's worth 150 million pounds. I say 90 to 100 million. Paul Pogba went for 100 million 5 years ago. He couldn't even lace Rice's boots. He's fucking awful. He's an awful footballer.
Yeah, but what we were saying about sort of comparing him to Makelele, I think it was someone like Figo or something when there was an interview and they were saying about the most important player at Real Madrid. And they all said Makelele because he was the player that allowed the others to go and do their thing at the other end of the pitch.
Every one of them attacking players for that Madrid side when Makelele was there, when they were asked who's the best player in your team at the time, they all come out and said Makelele. Figo, I think Zidane was there. They all said the same thing because his discipline and the game he played allowed them to go and do what they wanted to do. And that is Rice. Look, I was having a conversation with a mate in work earlier about it. In my opinion, we shouldn't be selling players for 150 million. The world's gone mad that players go for the price that they go to. That's by the by. It's the world we live in at the moment. But if you were to take a Rice and put him in a City side, put him in a Chelsea side, that side will improve. You're taking a young 23-year-old West Ham player who, like a lot of people think, West Ham, relegation fodder and that type of thing. You're taking a guy like that, and you'll improve any team. He'll walk into any team on this planet, and there's not many players you could sit there and say would do that.
Yeah, in that position, I think you're right. I understand why West Ham would pay 150 million price tag to keep him, but issue is Rice turned down 2 offers of a long-term contract. There's 2 years left to run with an option of a further year. What I would say about that is Gold and Sullivan are not going to be here in 3 years' time. 3 years is a long time in football. I know that he's got ambition. That is perfectly correct. But at the moment, West Ham are well within their rights to ask for whatever money, whether it be 100 million, 200 million, 500 million, $1 billion, whatever they want to ask for Declan Rice. They obviously don't want him to leave because they wouldn't put a price tag that big on someone if they wanted to leave. Am I saying anyone's worth 150 million in truth? No, of course they're not. No. But it is relevant to what they are to your club and how important they are to the club. We're going to lose our club captain this year. We're going to lose Noble. He's retiring, right? He's been a glue that holds the club together for a long time. If you ask a lot of the new players that come in, he's a very important figure in the changing room. They don't want to lose Declan Rice as well in the same season because he's our vice captain. So they don't want to lose all of the leadership. So that's why they would put a big price tag on him. But I don't think it's ridiculous or whatever. But I think it's disrespectful when people they sort of look down on West Ham and say he's worth this, he's worth that,
mate. It's all the time. Like the other week, we was over celebrating because we beat Seville. Now we're deluded because we want to slap a big price tag on our best player. Like any time it's something to do with West Ham, is you're deluded this, you're deluded that. It's
right. Great. The thing is, mate, look, it was fans slagging us off for the way we celebrated the win over Seville. Did you see the Tottenham fans celebrating the win over us the other night? They just got 3 points in the Premier League over a side that they don't care about, and they're celebrating like they won the league. At the end of the day, we've said it all along. We're punching way above our weight. We've just beaten the best side in that competition by far. And we're allowed to celebrate. We don't get, like Ryan said on the night, we don't get these nights that often.
No.
So we're going to enjoy every single night that we get. If we go on and beat Lyon, we'll celebrate that like we've just won the World Cup. Because at the end of the day, that's us in a European semi-final. If we win the quarterfinal.
Doesn't happen very often.
Exactly. That's it.
That one guy says he's a world-class player in a mid-table side. He makes West Ham relevant. Without him, West Ham are sitting around 10th. He walks into any club in the world right now. Is that right?
Yeah. So, no, he is right. He's right in what he's saying. That he's that good. That he's part of the reason why we're not sitting 10th.
Without him, we would be sitting in 10th.
He's worth 3-4 places in the league.
One thing I would say, the thing is with Declan Rice, is it does go. We still move forward as a football club because we get a lot of money for him, and if we invest it right, listen, heroes come and go, players come and go. We've seen it over the years. We all had our arms. We was all upset when Pint left. We got over him. We got an Arnautovic. We was all pissed off when Arnautovic left. We pissed and moaned. We got over it. You move on. And listen, I don't ever want to see Declan Rice wear another shirt for another club. I want to see him stay at West Ham for the rest of his career, but I know that's not going to happen. So I'm just going to enjoy him while he's here. Hopefully we can get another 1, maybe 2 seasons out of him. I think Declan Rice, you see his celebrations after the game when he pumps his chest and smashes the badge. He loves the football club. He has nothing but good things to say about the fans. He's got a good connection with the fans. So who knows? Maybe Declan Rice, I don't think he's ever going to be one of these players that refuses to train, refuses to, want to play for the club and in a transfer request. I don't think he'll ever be one of them players.
No.
He
does.
The way the lad handles himself is that he's a model professional, and he'll do things the right way. He won't.
I was saying to you, when I think he's only ever had one beer, or something. And, like you said, he's got a. We talked about it today, weren't we? I think I've read he said he'd only ever had one beer or 2 beers in his.
No, he's never had one.
He's never. So got all the time in the world when he retires.
I think he's never had a beer, and I think Mason Mount's never had a Chinese. So don't ever invite me out of a night of them two because it'll be fucking boring.
But that's it. But this is the thing: if we were to sell Rice next year, like we said, we're losing those. Lose Rice as well. It would take that whole 150 million to replace them type of players. Because who'd you go out and buy? Who'd you go out to buy to replace Declan Rice?
You wouldn't be able to, Scott. You would be paying for players with potential. Yeah. And this is the thing. Like someone said there earlier on, justifying the price for Paul Pogba. At the time, Pogba was 23 and touted to be one of the best or touted to be or go on to be one of the best midfielders in the world, and it hasn't quite worked out for him. Declan Rice is one of the best midfielders in his position in the world now. So why, at the same age, would we sell him for less than Paul Pogba? Paul Pogba was he's a good player. He is. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, he's terrible. He's not terrible. He's a good player that plays in spurts. That can look world class in spurts. That is it. And there's lots of times when he goes missing and all of that sort of thing. Declan Rice is a world class player that plays at that level when he plays. Simple as that. I see the other day, people saying about Bentancur got the better of him. Yeah, people are going to get the better of him. People get the better of people all the time. Let's see the next time and the next time and the next time. We'll average it out over the next few years if Bentancur's still here and see who comes out on top. Because I guarantee it'd be Declan Rice.
Yeah, that's what I said. The boy learns from every mistake he makes. Every mistake. You don't see him make the same mistake twice. He learns. He adapts his game. He brings his game. And as he gets older, he'll get more experience. When he gets probably hitting his 30s, you'll see him dropping the centre half, and he'll probably be the best centre half for whichever team he's playing.
The thing is, when you watch him play, it's just like he just glides, doesn't he?
Exactly, mate.
And the way like the ball stuck to it, like the way he shields the ball and protects the ball is something else as well.
The main thing is as well is our ambition in the summer transfer window. We've got to get business done early. We've got to say Declan Rice, because look, Mark Noble in reality he's got 8 Premier League games left. That's it, and then there's no more. Mark Noble's gone, and Declan Rice will be handed the captain's armband full time. He'll be club captain, and I think that might give him that lift. That might be the thing that keeps him there for another year, and especially if we go out and we bring in. I see we've been linked with Calvin Phillips again. Whether them sort of transfers are going to happen, I don't know. It's going to be tough with what Newcastle are going to do and other teams. And one other thing about Declan Rice as well. I mean, we Declan Rice, and I think Declan Rice is world class, but it's not guaranteed he's going to go to another team and do that, because he might go to a Manchester City, start the first 10 games, then find himself on the bench for a little while. He's not used to that, and he might lose a bit of form. Declan Rice needs to be playing week in, week out. And that's the one thing I worry about with Declan Rice is if he does go to another club, he doesn't play week in, week out, and then he'll probably find himself on loan back at West Ham in 3 seasons' time.
I don't think, personally, don't think that happens. I think if he goes, for me, he goes City or Chelsea, and he stays. He plays week in, week out. For both of them sides, he's not going to that. Barring injury, he's never going to be a bit part player for a club.
It's just Ollie's just said it there. Grealish, he was what he was doing at Villa. He's gone to City and he's not pulling up trees. You're under a different microscope when you go to these bigger clubs.
But Grealish, I'm going to go back to the England thing. When you watch Grealish for England, doesn't do a lot for England.
And Grealish is a good player. He's a talented player.
But that's the difference, mate. He's a good player. That's as far as it goes. He was a big fish in a small pond. He was a Matt Letizia at Southampton. Big fish, small pond. He's gone to the big pond. He can't swim with the sharks. And that's why Grealish is struggling. Not doubting his ability. He's a good player, but
I'm not having that, because he has done quite well at City. He's just not the main man at City. That's what I'm saying. You've got bigger and better players there that get more. Their names are more touted. Grealish at Villa was the biggest name. Declan Rice at West Ham is the biggest name. If he goes to City or even United might rebuild if he goes there.
But you'll find he's probably not playing any differently to when he was at Villa. But like you say, because he's surrounded by sort of bigger names and that, it sort of goes under the.
He's not good enough. He's not as good as them other players. That's all it boils down to.
I don't believe that. He's
not good enough. He's not good enough.
The thing is, when players go to City,
I don't listen to Scott because he rated Norvite.
I didn't rate Norvite. I turned around and said, with Norvite, mate, I turned around and said the guy needs to play in his position, not a right back. But listen, if Grealish was that good, he'd be in that side week in, week out.
He
does all right. He don't set the world alight.
He plays the same amount as everyone else. They all rotate.
Sterling's not even been in the squad. I can't remember last time Sterling started a game for City or played a full 90 minutes. And he's one of their best players.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. But that's the rotation it is. But what I'm saying is that you're not going to get that with Declan Rice. Declan Rice goes to City. He plays every week. He plays every game. He will get rotated, obviously, because they play a lot more games than what we do.
Yeah, well, it takes a while to adjust to Pep's style. That's what I would say. I think every player that's gone there hasn't always hit the ground running.
Mahrez, when he went from Leicester to City, everyone was the same. Oh, he ain't going to make it there. He ain't going to make it there. Now he's smashing it at City. Yeah. And it's Well, I mean, when you go to these bigger clubs,
I don't see that.
When you go to these bigger clubs, Scott, it's a different level. It's a different world. They expect so much. You have to be a 9 out of 10 minimum every game. Declan Rice can play for West Ham and be a 6-7. Not that he ever is, but he can have his off games. As soon as he does that for City, the media are going to be on him. All the fans are going to be on him. It's a different level. It's a different world.
But that's how I look at that. How I look at Rice is when he performs for England. That's on the international stage. That's on the biggest stage you could ever be on. And he performs. Doesn't drop below an 8.
I've got to have while we're wrapping up this, I've got to have a little laugh at Aston Villa today, man, because some of their fans, I tell you what, they are fucking cuckoo, because they're writing teams out with like Declan Rice in it, Calvin Phillips in it, Coutinho in it, Rafinha, fucking all sorts of people like they're going to go out and sign all of these players. I don't know where they're living, to be quite honest with you. And I mean, I thought they was just having a little fantasy go, but these was Paul Pogba was in it. I think these are having fucking delusions, mate. They was having serious conversations about it as well. I think they're crazy. They're crackers.
Just quickly, just one thing I want to say on Declan Rice as well. I think if Declan Rice wasn't getting in the England team and wasn't a regular, then he would be forcing a move from West Ham. But he's one of the first names on Gareth Southgate's sheet, so he doesn't have to move to play for England. He doesn't have to do that, So that's a positive for West Ham if we are going to keep Declan Rice.
Listen, I think I've said it all along. There's two things that keeps Declan Rice at our football club: winning something and getting rid of the owners.
Well, he might as well fuck off then, because we ain't saying one thing in 41 years.
Moyes come out and said that he knows what it will take to keep him, and that is winning the top trophies. Now, you can take that as you will. There's so many different ways to iterate that. Are you saying we're not going to keep him? Are you saying we're going to invest to compete? I can't really determine. I'm going to have to say it's the former. It's with a mission that we know we're going to lose him, because we're not going to compete for the top trophies. It's impossible for us at this minute in time.
I think our chance of ever doing that went when we didn't improve the squad massively.
There's only. I mean, look at the top trophies. There's only two really that we're not going to compete for, and that's the league and the Champions League. We're competing for the Europa League. We compete for the FA Cup every year. Look, we ain't won it for 41 years. So 41 squads have gone out there and tried to win it and haven't. So it's not an easy trophy to win. But I mean, ever since Declan Rice come out and said that, what he said about matching his ambition, we've always been towards the top of the league, challenging for that top 4. And now we've gone one better and we're doing well in Europe. So we are sort of matching his ambition in a way, but we need to get them right signings in. And that's the ambition we need to get.
I think his ambition is to win the top ones.
Well, of course it is. What football player ain't?
Well, if it's not, right, then you're in the wrong game. But you say that, though, what football player ain't? I think there's a lot that are happy to just take the money.
Oh, exactly. But Rice ain't one of them. But the thing is,
Rice he's not that sort of player. He'll want to win.
Yeah, but you can see with Rice as well, it'd probably mean a lot to him to win a trophy with West Ham before he went on to move somewhere else.
Yeah, where he is at the moment, I think if we won the Europa League, he'd stay. If we won the FA Cup, he'd maybe stay again. But eventually, his ambition is going to be higher.
Yeah, of course it is.
It already is in a way. Like, so he's going to go unless something completely drastic. And look, we can't rule it out, because who the fuck thought Newcastle would have £1 billion to spend? You know what I mean? So you can't rule it out, and you don't know what the new investors are going to do and what happens when GSB go. That's what I'm saying. The £150 million price tag, it's to ward off suitors. You know what I mean? So like, who knows what might happen? But you've got to be sort of playing it safe, and I think more is what he's saying there is, we're going to lose him at some point. You just got to sort of deal with it. But I honestly, it would take something drastic for him to go this summer, especially if we got to like the semi-final or the final of the Europa League. Even if we didn't win it.
I think unless we win something, he leaves. I think the only thing that would
this summer.
Yeah.
So you're saying if we don't win the Europa League,
I can see him going.
Yeah, you see him going.
Yeah, but
I don't think he will.
No, I don't think he will because
I think that the only way he will stay is if the investment's right within the summer and it's done early doors. Because I just think even with this price tag, I think there is clubs out there that will pay that price tag. I don't think. I think Golden Sullivan. Well, I think Sully will take less than what they're touting, the 150 million for him. But it's the investment's got to be right. We didn't sign anyone in January. We're losing some players, aging players. We need to invest big in the summer. And I think if we make the right investments in the summer, that would then convince Declan to stay one more season. But we need to have European football again. Yeah. If we don't have European football at any level, then I think he's gone.
I don't think he goes in the summer because I think we're going to lose too many. Yeah, we're going to want to keep him for a year at least.
We're going to need, we can't afford to lose him. If you think if he goes, Noble's retiring, Kroll goes back to wherever he go. Oh, he's at Moscow, so he probably won't go. Is it Moscow he's at? But he won't go back there. So he'll go back to wherever we got him from. We're left with Souček as our only recognised midfielder and Connor Commentary.
Well, that's the way I see it. Well, that's all you need, mate. Souček or nothing.
Well, that's it, But yeah, you need to then go and sign another 2 centre midfielders. And
right, let's take some comments. QPR forever. He goes for £65 million now. Convo over. You sold Trevor Sinclair for £2 million, mate. I wouldn't listen to what you say.
QPR ain't even worth 65 million, are they?
No, probably not. No. Zorik says Declan is an outstanding player. Every league I'll support him, whichever club he goes to, but I'll remain a hammer through and through. Well done, mate. Zuma could jog back onto Chelsea, laugh my arse off. Well, that's your opinion. I was more angry with Payet than Arnie leaving. We beat Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, and Sevilla, Spuds, and we only had 14 players. They're going to be scared when we have a striker in the squad. I don't know what these have got to do. Maybe I went back too far.
2021, yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't it depend on qualifier in Europe to show we are ambitious to compete against the so-called big teams? I'm as Mikey Moyes will raid the championship with Rice money. We know what he's like. Shame on Moyes for going back on his promise to build a team around him. Yeah, hold on a minute, Mike. He ain't done nothing. Yeah, he ain't gone anywhere. Rice has that passion and drive for West Ham, similar to what Gerrard had for Liverpool. Even with £150 million, you cannot buy a player with them attributes.
That's a good point. Because listen, I know Liverpool are a big club, but when Gerrard was playing for them, they weren't winning trophies all the time. And he could have gone to Chelsea, and he didn't. He stayed at Liverpool, and he stayed there for his whole career because he was a Liverpool boy and he loved the club, and he ended up winning a few trophies. So that's what I'm saying. It ain't always these players ain't always guaranteed to leave the football club.
James Games says the price is to keep the clubs away, like you said, Nick, as priceless. I don't think 150 is enough to stop every club. He's crying out for Declan Rice, and we don't want to end up like Villa. There's just rumours, mate. 98% of nonsense. Wait till the summer, start worrying. Rice stays with us regardless if we were in Europa or finish in Europe, says Iggy Anderson. Grealish is an overhyped Love Island distracted player. Rice is different mould. Wherever he goes, he won't be classed as a legend or an icon. I think he might be. When you watch Pogba for France, he looks different class. I think anyone could look different class in a France side. Only club that will pay 150 million is Man United. If Rice went there, I'd be ashamed of him. I'd lose respect for him. Ryan, is it right? Is right there, Scott, mate. If you look at the likes of Mahrez and that, he grew into Pep style. So it's about the matter of time. He'll be the next KDB. Rice will leave at a young age when he can succeed more top clubs than any young player would want. Deckers can't play anywhere. Deckers can play anywhere. Don't know what Graham is going on about.
I didn't say he couldn't play there. I don't know what that's about. weren't made it said it.
Surely
he did, great.
Yeah, I think you did as well. Surely it's better for Rice to stay.
Talk about it, tell me.
Surely it's better for Rice to stay at West Ham until the World Cup if he can. He goes, I heard the same thing, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. I heard the same thing. I heard you say he can't play anywhere.
I ain't said nothing, Bill.
When did I say he can't play anywhere?
No, that's what I heard, Gray.
Bollocks, did you?
Surely it's better for Rice to at least stay at West Ham until the Cup. If he goes City or Chelsea playing 90 in every game, they have more great players to fit into a game. But Bowen over Grealish every time. No, you're all tripping. Deckers is world class regardless of whatever club he's at. Rice becomes world class when he goes to a big club, I'm afraid. You just need to enjoy him while he's at your club. No, he's already world class, mate. Don't matter what club you're at. You're playing at the top. Depends. Top is England, by the way. Depends, Afan. What do you want to meet? Great man himself, Roger. I don't know what the fuck I've put that up for. I didn't read that properly. Should offer him a new deal with a clause with 2 years of no European football, and he can talk to other clubs. And Jesse just says we are happy to be part of the show. Well, we're happy to have you here. Aston Villa reminds me of Leeds in the early 2000s. Let's take one more comment. Let's have a look. See any new ones. Rice has to want to stay. No point keeping him if he wants to go. And January confirmed to him, we've got no ambition. Nobody would blame him if he asked to go. I agree with that in a way.
I don't think anyone. I think we're all realistic to understand and know football well enough that we don't keep Rice his entire career. It's just we need to keep him for the next. We need to keep him for next season and probably the season after. But it's what we can achieve if we can keep him that long. It's what we can achieve in them sort of times to make him want to stay and make the club, make the club what we all want to see. That we are challenging for the higher honours. This is the thing. With it all, I just feel that with Newcastle, the money that they're getting in, I think we just missed the trick. I really do. But look, we could go on. You're in Europa League, and then we're in the Champions League next season. It'd be hard to compete in that with the small squad that we've got, but we'll give it a go. And Rice could be happy, but we've just got to do with the money Newcastle have got. It's going to be tough.
David Smythe, just to finish up, says Rice is not world class. You're deluded, mate. I'll tell you now. I've watched football for 39 years. Well, not 39 years, maybe a bit less than that. He's world class, mate. I've seen world class players, and he's one of them. He's better than anyone I think I've seen come through our academy. And there's if you're going to tell me that Lampard, Rio Ferdinand, Jermain Defoe, Joe Cole, Michael Carrick, they weren't world class players, then you're talking at your arsehole.
I'll tell you what, Nick. When them players left the club, they weren't nowhere near as good as what Declan Rice is.
Nowhere near.
They were very good players, very, very good players. Don't get me wrong. They were potentially going to be the players that they went on to become. But them leaving the club made them more the players that they are. Rice is that player now. He will improve. If he goes and works with a manager like Pep, he'll improve massively. But for someone to sit there and say that we're deluded for calling world class, go watch him play for England. Go watch England without him playing in the side and then come back to me and tell me he ain't world class. Because if you think he ain't world class, you need to really go watch another sport.
Well, like you said, look at the Euros when he wasn't on the pitch. How much the performance levels dropped off in the middle.
Okay, right. Let's move on. We've spent 40 minutes talking about this. David Moyes almost, did you hear about this? Returned to Everton before he came back to us in his second stint. Where would we be without David Moyes?
Well, I bet everyone wish they fucking got him.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we certainly wouldn't have been in the Europa League.
Well, it's a difficult question to answer, isn't it? Because we don't know who we would have gone.
No, it's obviously it's hypothetical.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Moisey, since he's come back, has done an unbelievable job. Yeah, someone's right there. We probably would have got relegated if he didn't come back. He kept us up that season. It wasn't pretty. He kept us up, and then his first full season broke all sort of records. You know, it was enjoyable to watch. Unfortunately, we couldn't be there to watch it, but it was enjoyable. And then look at this season. I think it's even better than last season because we've got the Europa League. But yeah, I mean, look, Everton's in a shit situation at the moment, and for me, they probably could have done with David Moyes.
Yeah,
but I'm glad they didn't.
I mean, what I've loved about having Moyes back is the consistency. You know, as I've said previously, West Ham, we always have we'll have a good season and we'll have 4 or 5 mediocre or bad ones. But we had a good season last season. We're having a good season again this year. So he's pushing us in the right direction. You know, in terms of consistency. And you know, we're challenging for the European spots again. Right, that's 2 years running challenging for the European spots, which is unheard of for us.
It's a funny old thing, isn't it? Because like, if you go back to that time, yeah. I think even a little bit after when he was with us, when you know, in the summer when he kept us up and we was talking about whether we were going to keep him on or whether we were going to sack him off like we did last time. I mean, we'd obviously sacked him off, you know, the first time. He didn't get a club and then he came back. But if you look around that time, Everton fans were going, no, no way. I don't want David Moyes, blah, blah, blah. And when we were linked with him as well, and I'm going to put myself in this category, I was going, no way, I don't want to see that geezer back at this club. Like, it was boring. It was, you know, we're going backwards. We're taking the cheap option and all that sort of thing. It just goes to show that sometimes we're not right. Fans, you know what I mean? Like, we follow the club, we love the club, and we want what's best for the club. But sometimes, you know, you aren't right, because let's be honest. Fast forward 2 years, and you know, as I say, you know, what's the word when you can't look into the past? What's the word?
Hindsight.
Hindsight. That's it. Thank you, Graham. Thank you. I think Scott's frozen, or his brain's still.
I was trying to work out what you mean. Yeah,
hindsight is a wonderful thing.
Yeah,
but if you go and ask Everton fans now, would you have taken David Moyes now 2 years ago? They would have fucking bit your hand off for him, because their club is in a fucking mess. To be quite honest with you,
it was at the time when David Moyes was here in his first spell, and we kept us up that season. I know you said it was sort of boring, but I thought we put in some good performances in them last 10 games. I mean, there was a couple of really good, like, I remember beating who did we beat? We beat someone at home, didn't we, when João Mario scored a couple of goals. And then we went to Leicester and beat them. And there was a couple of good, and I was sort of happy to have kept him on. But then I bought into the Pellegrini thing, thinking, okay, he's a big name manager, you know, he's going to be given the money. And when Moyes come back, you know, I was sort of, there was a part of me that was glad, because and he's done so well since he's been back. But yeah, I mean, Everton at the moment, they're in a right struggle, and they play us next. And you know, and I think if we beat them next week, I think that could be the end of Lampard's managerial career there. I think they will.
Well, they need to do something drastic quick. You know, I know they won last week, but you know, they need to do something drastic very, very quickly, because they're in real danger.
In my eyes, long may it continue, because I hope they do go down. But someone just said there as well, you think about David Moyes, he got the best out of Arnautovic, then he got the best out of Antonio, turning him into a striker. So it's little things like that, and it's what Moyes has brought to the backroom staff. It's what he's just changed the whole mentality of the club. You know, he told the owners he didn't want them in the papers, he didn't want them they did, and fair play to him. You don't really hear from Golden Sullivan no more, do you? You don't really hear from it. Like, I think Brady now and again mentions something in the column in the newspaper, but it's nothing major like it used to be. So I think David Moyes has just gone in there and said, look, you want me back, you let me run this football club how I want it. Like Kirbysher used to do at Charlton, like Wenger used to do at Arsenal, from top to bottom. You know, he stopped. All right, there are still some leaks in the football club, but not as much as there used to be. So, and it comes down to the backroom staff that he got in as well. And even when you look at the coaches they're bringing in at the club in lower, they're all ex-players. They're trying to get that family feel back at West Ham. That's what we lost that over the past, especially the past 10 years. We lost that sort of family feel at the football club.
I don't like Golden Sullivan, but I think
really, I wouldn't have known that.
You should have said something.
I didn't know that.
But the reason why I think they've sort of kept quiet. I think they're winding down, to be honest with you. They know that their time's nearly finished.
I don't think they're winding down, mate. I think they learned a lesson. I think they learned a lesson.
It took them fucking 10 years.
I think them Burnley protests scare them a lot more than what we think.
Well, funny enough, Click Torres, it says West Ham fans are hostile and toxic at times. Is it passion or just anger? I don't think we're hostile and angry. We're one of the, I know this is going to sound stupid, but we're one of the happiest bunch of people that you'll ever meet when we're, because
last Thursday, for example, the other Thursday.
We're not expectant of anything. The reason why we're hostile and toxic, I think, is a lot to do with the ball and a lot to do with the promises and things like that, and taking away our home and not fulfilling the promises. But listen, that's a long way away. As I said before, let's enjoy the good times. Who you got on the back of that shirt, Nicky? No, I don't do that, mate. I wouldn't get no one on the back of this shirt. I would have got Noble if I'd have had a chance, but I've
got Noble on the back of mine.
Maybe I'll get it and put it.
Europa League badges. I ain't worn it yet. It's still in the wardrobe. I got it at Christmas. I'm saving it for the last game of the season, I think.
Let's talk about the tickets, the ticket fiasco for Lyon. I mean, I've come under a lot of fire, and like on reflection, maybe I was a bit out of order and a bit, stupid for tweeting what I tweeted, because I know a lot of people got upset, but I still stick to some of my points. The Lyon thing, was it fair? Was it fair what the club done? And that's, a lot of people missed out on tickets because the season ticket got their go, the Claret members, and then the season tickets got a chance to buy extra tickets.
I think the club done a massive boo-boo by allowing season ticket holders to buy up to 5 tickets.
6
tickets. I think it opens up so much for touting, in my opinion. There'll be people out there making money.
Silly money, stupid money.
And it's you have the system that you have where the bondholders, the season ticket holders can get their ticket first. Like you said, we've got a large
season ticket holders, club members, and all that should have priority.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's correct. Bondholders, season ticket holders first, then club members, then general sale. It's the way it's always gone. You've always had that thing. I just feel that maybe the club allowing season ticket holders to buy more seats, especially that amount of seats that they were allowed to buy, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth to club members.
I think two would have been enough. Maximum.
Yeah, I think so. I think 2 would have been fair because, let's be honest, you're not, most of us here, we could probably find 2 people that want to come to a West Ham game with us, whether we're playing Lyon in a quarter-final of the Europa League or whether we're playing.
What I don't understand is there's a lot of people been putting up this website that there's this website that's selling the tickets on for 150 euros and all that. Yeah, that link is actually on West Ham's website. Go on West Ham's website and look at travel. It takes you straight to that website. So they're obviously got a deal with that company where they give them tickets, a certain amount of tickets as well. So
like when they would Thomas Cook when we first moved there.
It's the same sort of deal. I mean, like, you have to look into it, but the thing is that I still stand by my point to a point. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. Like, I see a lot of people saying, "Well, I wanted to go." Well, yeah, everybody wants to go. Yeah, did the club go a bit too excessive? Yeah, they did. But where were all these people when the Zagreb tickets were on sale and we didn't sell out the ground, or the what was the other games we played? Fucking hell, I can't even remember now.
Do you think that the club might have sort of panicked and done that because the Seville home tickets didn't sell out as quick as they thought they would? Because obviously we was away first, so maybe the club thought, look, we'll give the season ticket holders a little bit more so they can just to sell it out quicker. Do you think the club might have panicked? Because I always thought it was going to sell out anyway.
Maybe they did. Why? Maybe they did. But there is parts of me. Yeah, look, I understand that. Like, you know, we are very privileged. We are very lucky and privileged. Vienna and Genk. There we go. We are very lucky and privileged. We live close enough to the ground where we can attend without making too much of an effort. Yeah, we can afford a season ticket. We get to go to every game. We've got enough points to go to away games. We're fortunate, but we have I had an argument with a guy, not an argument, but a discussion with a guy who's calling me a bit of a prick, really. Which I can, he's entitled to his opinion. I don't mind people calling me a prick as long as they've got an answer to why I'm a prick, But I was, and what my tweet said, right, is those who couldn't get tickets for Lyon, yeah, good news, they're still available for Everton and Burnley. That's all it said, yeah. And then people have taken it, upon themselves to say, wow, you're fucking this and you're out of order, blah, blah, blah. What I said is a true statement. You took it how you took it. You take it how you want to fucking take it. That's up to you. But what I will say is that there are still tickets available for Everton and Burnley. And a guy was saying to me, you think you're this and you think you're Mr. West Ham. I don't think I'm Mr. Nothing. I'll pay for a ticket and I go away. Like the geezer said to me, you can't tell me I'm not a dedicated fan. Last week, for the Europa League game, I worked a night shift, then left home at 7 and then got to the ground at, blah, 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 then drove straight home, 15-hour trip. I live in Scotland. So? That's your own.
When people say that, the thing is, when people say that, mate, is that I was up at 6 o'clock that morning. I worked a full day. I went to the game, and after fan cams and everything, I didn't go until 1:30 in the morning. Yeah, so we all dedicate ourselves.
But this is the thing, though, right? So go to one at the weekend when you haven't worked a night shift and all that. And then he says to me, well, I can't get there at weekends. I can't get to as many as I like. Well, fucking tough shit then.
The problem is that you had people there taking it as if people were saying that, well, if you don't get a ticket or you don't go, if you're not going to this game, you're not going to that game, you're not a proper West Ham fan. Look,
no.
We're not saying, none of us would ever say anything like that. You're a proper West Ham fan from the moment you support the club. If you fleet between supporting one club and then another club, then another club, yeah. But
this guy, look, fucking all fair play to you. Driving 15 hours after a night shift and all that sort of thing. Yeah, fair play. Yeah, you've done really well.
It's just unfortunate.
Hold on, Scott. Let me finish. Fair play to you, right? But I do that every other week. This guy's telling me he's done it once. Maybe he's done it twice. He's saying, "Oh, well, I can't get there a week." I do that every other week. When we go up to Liverpool, there's been weeks where I've been to Liverpool, Manchester, and Manchester twice in a week. Like, I choose to do that. I'm not sitting there going, "Well, I'm a bigger fan than this person. I'm a bigger fan than that person." You can't say I'm not dedicated and all that. I do it. I've done it 3 times in a week. Last week we went to Sevilla. Come home on a Saturday, and the next day we was in fucking back at the London Stadium. Then on Thursday we're back at the London Stadium, and Sunday we're in Tottenham. It is what it is. Like, and unfortunately, these are what you have to do when you're following a football club. Yeah, wherever you're going, like with away tickets and all that sort of thing, there is only a certain amount of tickets. Only a certain amount of people can be there.
And that's not. If you think about it. How many we've been to European games, you've been to a couple of away games. I went to the Seville game. We've been to every home game this season. We didn't even get tickets for Brentford.
No, exactly.
Because of the allocation. As you said, there's only a certain amount of tickets. So what can we do? We ain't kicking up a fuss saying, "Oh, we should be at Brentford because we've been to Burnley away, we've been to Seville." It is what it is. That's the way I see it. We didn't have enough points. We just missed out. Oh, well, I'll watch it on the telly.
But that's exactly it, mate. That's the thing. It's just unfortunate. We are lucky in the position that we're in, where we've had the season tickets for the length time we've had our season tickets, where we've been away games the amount of times we have, that we've accumulated the points.
But that's not just because of this channel, Scott. We've been seeing tickets for years.
That's what I'm saying.
Away games for years since we was kids. So
this is what I'm saying. We're in this position because we've been able to dedicate that time to be able to do that. We're not sitting here saying we're better than those who go one game a season, those who don't go at all and just watch on telly. We're no better than any other West Ham fan. We're all the same. We all support the club. We all love the club. We're just very, very fortunate that we've got the money and we've got the time to be able to follow the club wherever it goes. No, that's the thing. But I think people just take it because, like what you said when you said in your tweet, Nick, I think people just take it the wrong way and think you're saying you're better than anyone else because you go to the thing. You're not saying that. And no one will say that. And if you did say that, I think we'd all disagree with you because we're not better than anyone else. Because
I know people that come up and down this country to come and watch West Ham on a Saturday. They put all that effort in to watch. For basically, it is 90 minutes football, but it's the whole day. You know, they travel up and down. They spend money on hotels and things like that. And I know how hard it is to do that. You know, even we live like in Essex, and you know, we find it hard sometimes doing it week in, week out. But you know, it's I don't think I'm better than any other fan.
Exactly.
There is a lot. Look again. I'll answer this. Look, Billy Herring. They give Jack Mate's friend Stevie a ticket, not even a hammer. They was working. We saw them there. They was working. They was working for West Ham. Half the media team are not hammers. Half the people that work for West Ham that we're named hammers. So like, you can't just dig him out. They was working. They was working doing media stuff. Simple as that. I know it sticks in a lot of people's throats, and I know that some people agree with it, don't agree with it, but they're working people. Like, you know, if you're working for something, like there's people that attend like Wembley and stuff when teams are playing, when they're doing corporate stuff at work and that. It's just the way it is. Stevie WHU Bell 899 signed up for the Patreon this week. Loving the podcast, top notch, great stuff. Thank you very much, Stevie, mate. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Crap, don't even know what the podcast is. Look, he's like, what's a podcast?
What's that then? Is that one of these newfangled
things? Yeah.
On that interweb thing.
Yeah.
The thing is, like,
you crazy kids and your technology.
Going off subject a bit, there's people, I've seen comments this week on some of our stuff, I think on the podcast, the YouTube bit of the podcast, you said where, oh, don't disappear, don't put videos behind a paywall, you shouldn't have to pay for it, you know, you're meant to be for the fans and all that sort of thing. I think what these people don't understand is we've never put anything we do or did before you set up the Patreon behind a paywall, and we wouldn't do that. At the end of the day, you know, for us to commit more time into doing things, we need to raise funds because we all work full time. We've all got full time jobs. We've all got families to support. That's why the Patreon was set up.
It's exactly what I said to this bloke, Scott. I said, look, that money that we earn from Patreon and whatever through YouTube goes towards tickets, travel. It don't go towards me sitting in a fucking mansion, you know, with my feet up, don't do fuck all. I work 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. You know what I mean? So we've all got full-time jobs.
Running this channel, the bigger it gets, is becoming a full-time job as it is. It becomes a full-time job. You've got to commit a lot of time to it. You've got to commit a lot of money to it. You've got to commit a lot of traveling time. Like the podcast stuff, we went out and bought the podcast stuff. We'd saved up money from the Patreon. It cost us £1,000. £1,000 for a couple of microphones. That's basically what it costs, right? We need a new computer. That's going to cost another £2,000. We need new cameras. They cost us another £1,000 each. The tickets, the travel to Sevilla, when me and Ryan went to Sevilla the other day, cost us about 600 quid, maybe more. Like, these things are not free. Like, if you want us to bring the content, then, you know, you've got a choice. You don't have to. You're watching this now for nothing. You've watched Pint. You've watched
exactly what I said to that bloke, mate. I said, listen, in life you've got choices. You either sign up for it or you don't. I said, like, why do people moan? Like, he said, no one other channel does it. I thought, hang on a minute, near enough every channel does it.
Most channels moved their stuff that they had out before a Patreon behind the paywall.
Look, the fact of the matter is this: you're still going to get content on this channel. We're going to bring more Patreon content. So if you want it, you want it. If you don't, stick to this.
The thing is, he said the bloke commented as well, saying, "Oh, look, you've even you ain't even showing the videos anymore." I said because we didn't film it, mate.
That is not true. That is not true, right?
No, we did film it, but you didn't upload it. So I said,
the reason why it is because we bought professional cameras for 3 of them, right? Each of them cameras is a 20 gig file, yeah. Three files that needs to be mixed. The time needs to be put in. this computer can't handle that sort of thing. It's an upgrade. This is what I'm saying. As the equipment upgrades, the other equipment needs to upgrade. So 3 20 gig files, they're professional grade cameras, like they're TV cameras. Yeah. The 20 30 gig files, they need to be live mixed, right? This computer, which was, it's fantastic for the stuff what we used to do for the fan cams and that. But when you're getting into sort of more professional stuff, this computer can't fucking handle it. It can't handle it. So this needs to be now upgraded. We need to get a laptop that's going to cost £2,000-3,000. We, as I say, we're working. Then we're trying to do this. I mean, trying to run this is like a full-time job. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, if you want to support it, support it. If you don't, then don't. There is still free content here. There you go. That's the thing.
There's only one thing behind the Patreon, and that's the fucking podcast.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, right? As we
wait a couple of days, they get it free anyway. So.
Well, it's not always but the thing is, it's uploaded in full to the.
It's not that, mate. I think with the Patreon, and I've said to you before, the Patreon site was a bit neglected, but people still done it because they're supporting us.
Yes, yeah.
They're supporting us. They could have all said, right, no content, we're all pulling out, but they still support us because they know that we will get it right. It's all new to us. We ain't professionals. We all work full time. We can't dedicate. We can't wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Monday and work all day on this channel. It just don't happen because I work. We work. So, and that's what I say about that.
Yeah, no, there was a comment there saying we should have a loyalty scheme. With the Patreon, there is a loyalty scheme.
Yeah, you get the month in Graham's house.
Graham will come around and dance for you, take your sexy glasses off.
He only does that
for all like in slow motion. Just give it one of them.
Right. Listen, just before we sort of go on to ask us anything, there is a competition running on our Twitter at the moment. There is a night with Colton Cole and Julian Dix Monday night at the O2. So we're going to be giving some tickets away for that. So if you want a couple of tickets, let us know. Tweet us on the Twitter. There is a tweet on our Twitter at the minute. Retweet it. Follow. Make sure you followed us. Make sure you post in the comment section here. And I'm going to be giving a couple of sets of tickets away to people. If you win, I'll DM you straight away. So there you go. A free night, 28th of March. Julian Dixon, Colton Cole at the. It's run by the people that do the Masters football. They've been kind of.
That's this Monday, by the way.
This Monday, this Monday. So listen, you got to be local. You got to be willing to come down and all that. Don't take tickets unless you can make it, and don't say that you win the tickets and then not do anything with them. Please, if you win the tickets, come. I know a few of our boys will be there. So come along. It'd be good.
Just quickly before we move on to ask us anything, I think we need to mention about obviously the club released a statement today that they've supported 9 charities, donated money to 9 charities after what happened with Zuma and that. So I think it's fair to say now we can sort of put that one to bed now. It wasn't a great time for West Ham. It wasn't a great time for Zuma. Obviously, it wasn't a great time for the Cats. It wasn't a great time for the fans. It wasn't a great time for anyone. Let's just move on from that now. I think the clubs, even when I was looking at the charities, they're even supporting the one in Canning Town, Celia Hammond, which is some great charities there. And look, they're going to benefit from what happened, which was a shit situation, a horrible situation that shouldn't have happened. But we just got to move on now.
That's it, mate. You're right. It is. It's time to put that to bed and move on. It's done and dusted now. He's been punished. End of it now.
John Miles would like a couple of tickets. John, get in contact on our Twitter, mate, and we'll see what we can sort out.
At West Ham TV.
Shy 10 Sure says, "How do I get in touch? I just want to donate for computer equipment, as I really don't know the cost involved." No, it's fine, mate. We that's what we've got Patreon and stuff for. You don't have to sort of buy our computers for us.
At Ryan Archer 84, I'll look after you. I swear. I won't look after you. At Ryan Archer 84.
Ask us anything. I think it started early. Can we talk about the history of Italy? Oh God, That was a mess, isn't it?
That's what you get for pulling Saka back in the final and saying he's coming Rome. That's what happens.
Yeah.
They were a funny old bunch, aren't they, the Italians?
Well, their manager, Mancini, turned around and said they'll be qualified by March and then they can put their feet up. Yeah, I mean, it's mad to think that a massive nation like Italy, this is the second World Cup in a row, and it's going to be, 12 years by the time that they could be planning the next World Cup, which is mad. It's crazy to think that. I bet they're hoping that the World Cup's every 2 years now.
Yeah, exactly. What a night if you're from Macedonia, North Macedonia.
Well, the mad thing is they qualified for the Euros, didn't they? That was their first major tournament. Now they're one step away from playing in a World Cup. So that country, what they've done over the last few years is amazing. Because you think years ago, England played North Macedonia, or you just laugh countries like that off, and that's no respect. You expect to put 4, 5, 6 past them, but no, fair play. That's what I'm saying. Football's moving on, isn't it? Like these nations are getting better.
With these weaker nations, the coaching level that they're getting is better, so they're better coached. So there's not, look, you still get your freak results of 11 and 12 nils against certain sides like San Marino, but I think sides like that, Luxembourg, Faroe Islands, they've picked up.
They're all there are no, like you say, apart from the odd game like against San Marino, there are no easy games anymore. Teams will make it difficult for you now.
I'm sure. Didn't San Marino get their first ever clean sheet in qualifiers this year, like in these qualifiers or something?
Moved on when they're keeping clean sheets.
Yeah, I'm sure they got so. It might have been a friendly. They drew 0-0. And for a side like that, it's massive. But no, it's good for football.
I'm sure San Marino played a game once. The other team didn't turn up and they still lost 3-0. That's how bad they were.
But this is it. Look, it's one of the big boys out of the competition already. So, makes it half easier.
Did you know? I got a quick stat about that, right? And I didn't even realise this. So the last time they was in the World Cup was in 2014.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the last time they played a knockout game in the World Cup was the final in 2006.
Mad, isn't it? That's
crazy for a team like Italy. And they won't be doing it this year.
And they won that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They beat France, didn't they?
That was when Zidane headbutted him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oosh, that's still one of the greatest moments. That was the last of the game as well for France. What a way to go out. Just nut someone. And he done a cheeky what was the penalty done? He chipped it, didn't he? It went crossbar.
Panenka. Yeah.
Panenka.
Chris 8 says, Ryan, did West Ham send you the same programme you won? Did the whole squad sign it?
No, do you know what? I still ain't got it yet. They've been in contact with me. They took my address and all that, but I still ain't got it. So, fuck knows what's happening to that. I'll chase them up though. Don't you worry about that. I've Karen Brady's email at the ready. I've already got a draft message. But look, whatever happens. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, listen, my name was up on the scoreboard. I've achieved my lifelong dream. Come on, you want. I'm off. Good night.
Will says Nike or Adidas trainers.
Adidas all day.
Gazelle.
All day Adidas. Yeah, or Sambas.
I must admit, I find the Nike trainers quite comfortable.
Oh, no. Let me stop you there. It's not Nike. It's Nike.
Actually, so I've been corrected on this. If you go into the Nike shop, they'll tell you it's not Nike, it's Nike.
There's no Y on the end of it.
No, there's not, but it's Nike.
There's no Y. It never used to be called Nike. It's only a recent thing. It was always Nike.
I'm just telling you what they tell you in the shop.
Yeah, but Adidas is pronounced Adidas.
Adidas, yeah, that's true.
I got put right with the Nike thing, great. So
there's no Y on the end of it. It's Nike.
Billy saying, Ryan, I think you should do a giveaway. Why? Why should I do a giveaway? I won it. I'm a fan. I'm a fan as well. Why should I give it away?
Yeah, it's a competition, man. Won a competition.
I entered the competition. I won it. Unfortunately, that's going to go up on my wall. So why would I give that away? I will. I'll give it away to my wife, and then my wife will give it to me. I'm a winner. Listen, I've been given loads of things down the years, and I've done competitions giveaway. But if it's the Science Seville program, I'm going to keep it because that was a special night.
Yeah.
But if they give me some random game like Everton, then I'll probably still keep it, but I'll be a bit upset.
No, you've got to. Yeah.
I want them to send me Soufal as well in the post. I want Soufal to cut my grass.
Billy Herring says, did any of you go to the Berkakara game in the Malta years ago? Because I stayed in a hotel in Malta the other day and it said a sticker in it that said West Ham European Tour. No, I didn't. I don't think none of us did, to be honest.
That was only a small. That was only a small allocation as well, I think, wasn't it?
You could have got a ticket if you wanted to go.
Yeah. Was that when we filmed the first post-match barbecue?
Yeah, that was that who had a bite of my burger.
Was that? Yeah, that was the famous "Bit My Burger" line.
We done a post-match pint about a game that we didn't even fucking get to watch.
That was the previous round, wasn't it?
I remember looking at the thing. I remember trying to look at the Twitter feed, and it always said Sacco's been sent off. Oh, fucking Sacco's been sent off. That
was the first. We've done a whole post-match pint, didn't we? And a game we hadn't even seen.
Yeah, that was the Bit My Burger night. That was.
Yeah.
That was the thing. Watching Nicky, there was three of us sitting around the Twitter stream, seeing how we were getting on, and then Nicky come in, and that's it. Lushentans.
I found the ticket for that when I was going through my old stuff. I found the home match ticket for that. What a great season that was as well. Last at the bowling. Remember sitting there in that first European game in the qualifiers. It was all had shorts and t-shirts. It was like being on holiday.
Did anyone see the Telegraph headline saying Ukraine should be given a buy through to the World Cup?
No, didn't see that. But
I didn't see it. But they are. But the funny thing is, it's not just they asked for a buy to the World Cup. They asked Scotland or Wales to stand aside and let them through.
That's ridiculous.
No,
I don't blame them. Get rid of Wales and Scotland.
No, at the end of the day, look, I understand it's a trade. I'm pretty sure that the fucking World Cup is the last thing on their fucking mind right at this fucking minute in time. So I do understand the thingy, but I don't think it should come at the expense of another team. No. Like, you're just going to turn around and go, now, go on.
It shouldn't, unless it's Scotland, Ireland, or Wales. I agree with it.
You can't do that.
You can do that, Scott. All this Gareth Bale loving as well now at the moment. Fucking, he proved what sort of player he was when he come back to Spurs last season. Like, he's not. Listen, look, it was a great goal he scored last night, that free kick. But fucking hell, the way the media are going on, even Tottenham fans now are piping up, oh, I'll have him back next season. Fucking hell, come on, man. The bloke apparently his arm, mate.
Yeah, apparently when they were getting beat by Barcelona, him and Hazard were having a laugh on the bench.
Exactly. So look, he's on $600,000 a week, Scott. What does he give a shit for? That's why he's sitting there.
That's why he's just going out playing golf.
When you look at what he's done for Madrid, he's won four Champions League trophies. He scored the winner in 2 of them finals, and they don't even class him as a legend there because he sits there and says he's holding flags up again last night saying Wales goal for Madrid. Like I tell you what, when he goes back there, their fans are going to give him a good fucking lashing.
Nick, would you recommend going to Seville as a holiday?
I'll probably go as a weekend break. I wouldn't go as like a holiday.
Yeah, it's not like I wouldn't say it was a holiday destination because it's
beautiful
not
city, though.
It's a lovely city. I wouldn't recommend going as a holiday, but I would recommend going back there to a final. How about that?
I can recommend a lovely little cafe that does a smashing paella.
No, I thought it was really nice. I'd go for a few days. I'd definitely go for
a long weekend, like a Friday to a Monday out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I would recommend visiting. It's lovely. Absolutely lovely. Cohen 1969 899. Rice is on a yellow in Europe. Worry that it won't be available if he gets another one. I think it's scrapped, isn't it, after this round?
No, I think it's scrapped for the semis. No, because Lanzini's suspended, isn't he?
Yeah, but that's your
Lanzini's out of the first leg. I think if Rice gets booked in the first leg, he misses the second leg. But I think if he gets booked in the second leg, he doesn't miss the semi-final.
Yeah, I think it's clean slate from the semis, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like they scrap all the yellows. So
yeah,
right.
James Jackson, is it scone or is it scone?
Scone.
It's a scone.
I'll say scone.
Scone.
Some of the things that these
the other day with bagel or bagel.
Bagel.
I say bagel.
Bagel.
Oh, fucking hell. WWE superstar and West Ham fan Triple H announced his retirement from wrestling today due to suffering heart failure while battling viral pneumonia last September. He has a defibrillator in his chest. I thought he was already retired.
Nah, I see that. He's officially retired.
So he just can't wrestle again.
That means he'll be back at WrestleMania.
No, that's pretty severe. I did hear it was pretty severe because he hasn't been on the telly or nothing for ages.
No, they writ him out, didn't they? Well, I don't watch it. It's only by going by what I see on Twitter and that. But yeah,
I'm going to be watching. I'll tell you what, though, I will be watching WrestleMania because my all-time favourite's coming back.
What? Jeff Jarrett?
Yep, Jeff Jarrett.
And his big cowboy hat.
With the Road Dogg. No, Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to be fighting at WrestleMania.
This is a good question. Let's get back to a bit of football. Ken always gets good questions. I know Jermain Defoe's history, the way he left the club, but would you approach him to be a forwards coach once he had his time out? Like with our players failed to learn from him. Never failed to learn from him, sorry. I think Tottenham have already sort of approached him about being a coach for their like youngsters. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one with Defoe, isn't it? Because obviously the way he left the club all them years ago, some fans still hold that against him and things like that. But there's no denying that he was a natural born goal scorer.
Yeah,
he was what I'd say is he was probably our modern day Ian Wright.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's one of the most natural finishers I think I've seen.
Yeah, the thing is he's, you know, despite going to Tottenham, which is always going to work against you, the way he handed in his transfer request, his conduct while we was in the Championship, getting himself sent off, he says that's the biggest regret in his career. Now, being a Tottenham sort of legend, I would say, it would be very easy and probably, like, especially all the hate he's got from West Ham fans over the years because of the way he left. It would be very easy for him to turn around and say nothing about that sort of, you know, thing in his career, because you're always running the risk of, you know, upsetting the Tottenham fans by bigging up West Ham a little bit. But what he did say is that was the biggest regret in his career, the way he handled that, the transfer and the transfer request, and you know, he took wrong advice from people around him and all of that sort of thing. So, as I said, it would be very easy not to say anything in that situation. But he did. He went and put that on record, which I got respect him for. Plus, I think he just gets a buy with all the fantastic charity work he did over the years. I think he's been absolutely... Yeah. He's a fantastic human being. Like, you know, he just is. So, look...
Yeah, I mean, you think all he done for Bradley Lowry, the young lad, you know?
Yeah, he's done a few things for a few people. And he's a philanthropist. So I think he just, you know, all of that sort of hate and all that sort of thing, I think he gets a buy because you never saw trouble from him. You know, he was never one of them guys that you see in the paper, you know, fucking living it up and, you know, going
falling out of nightclubs and all that.
No, nothing like that. He was a model professional. And somebody, I mean, I've felt it was fucking weird because I've seen people the other day saying, like, he never quite made it at the top level. Fuck me, he's one of the greatest goal scorers in the Premier League era.
That's one thing I think that there might be a little bit of regret in Defoe's career, that he never went to a Man United. He never went to, you know, because if he'd have gone to a Man United, he'd have won it all. You know, so I'm surprised that a bigger club never actually went in for him.
Yeah,
like,
same.
But at that time, I remember Alex Ferguson was really praising him, and I thought that because I remember he scored the winner at Old Trafford once in a 1-0 win, And yeah, I remember that he was linked with Man United heavily. And yeah, I'm just surprised he never ever made that move.
It's mad. It's mad when you think, he went from, what was it, Spurs to Pompey, didn't he? And that's where he won his first trophy. And
won the FA Cup.
That's the crazy thing about it.
He actually didn't win the FA Cup with Portsmouth squad.
Yeah,
he didn't.
Oh, he didn't.
He didn't. He wasn't allowed to play. He was at Portsmouth at the time, but he was cup tied.
Oh, okay.
He won the League Cup with Spurs, but he never won the FA Cup because he was cup tied.
I didn't realise that. Thank you for the correction.
I think he actually went to Portsmouth, if I'm right. He went to Portsmouth. He couldn't play in the FA Cup final, and Tottenham went on to win another League Cup. Or they won. I can't remember what it was now, but it was something like. But I knew he couldn't play in the FA Cup.
That's the thing. It just was strange with a striker of his ability that he never went to a United or a Chelsea or someone like that. Very, very weird, and it's probably why he hasn't got. He's ended his career without a Premier League winners' medal.
But the thing is, I mean, to answer Kent's question, I think we'd all take him as a striker coach. I'd probably still take him as a striker now. To be fair,
did you hear the interview with Harry Kane about him? Obviously on England duty, where he said when he was a youngster coming through, Defoe always had time to sit there and talk to him and coach him where he needed to work on and stuff like that. And that's good to see. And like Nicky said weeks ago with Antonio. We could do with a Dean Ashton, a type of player, then that's what you need. Strikers know the game. Strikers like him. Strikers just scored the amount of goals he scored, know the game, know how to pop up in the right positions, know what to do. They're the ones that you're going to learn off of.
Philip D. McKay says, Nicky, did you grow up near Defoe? Me and Ryan both grew up near Defoe. Defoe is the same age as me. Fucking wouldn't think it looking at us, but he is the same age as me. I didn't know him. I wouldn't say I know him, but I did see him in the flesh a few times because a good friend of mine that sadly passed away years ago when I was in school, he played for Charlton. He was on Charlton's books, and Jermain was on Charlton's books at the time. And Shane Smith knew him really well, right? And I see him sort of knocking around that way a few times when I passed by. I see him play for St. Bon's against our school, and he was class. It was different. It's different gravy. But I didn't know him. I knew of him, and I'd seen him play a few times before he even made it at West Ham. And then when he went to West Ham in the youth team, a friend of mine, Roy Agger, knew him a little bit. So yeah, it was. He was always around, and you knew of him and all that.
I sort of knew him. Well, I didn't know him as like a friend level, but I used to play against him in Eastleigh Youth Club in the 6 weeks. And I think Danny's just popped up there because he used to play against obviously Danny's year. And I remember, I think they beat St. Bon's beat Eastleigh in the final like 9-0, and he scored 8 goals in the final. It was just lethal. And I remember because when I was in Eastleigh, 3 of St. Bon's teachers come to our school to help us out. And they obviously knew Defoe, and I think it was Mr. Lee at the time was Defoe's PE teacher, and he used to rave about him. And I think he got a couple of shirts from him, and I think even in St. Bon's now, I think they've still got Defoe's England shirt up on the wall. So yeah, he was a great player, great natural finisher. As I said, modern day Ian Wright for us.
But he had the right attitude, and I know, like through my friend, I knew a couple of kids that were they would say in ability wise were better than Defoe, but their attitude stank, and they went to trials for England schoolboys and all of that sort of thing, and they do a couple of tests to trial your attitude, and his attitude was just first class, and that's why he went on to play in the Premier League and the other guy didn't. So yeah. That's it. And
I met and I went to a boxing event a couple of years ago, and Defoe was there, and I was just chatting to him, and straight away we just chatting about Eastleigh Youth Club, and he was just like talking to it. He was so excited to talk about it because he's probably never spoken about Eastleigh Youth Club in so many years, and he was talking about Mark Smith and things like that, and when we all used to play in the sports hall, and And he probably hasn't had that conversation for so many years because he's been wrapped up in that football world that it reminded him of being that youngster again and just playing in the sports in the 6 weeks.
I see him in Canning Town a couple of years ago.
Didn't his dad used to live there, or was he his dad?
I think his dad's still there, but I don't think he speaks to his dad.
No, I think his dad passed away. I'm sure his dad passed away a couple of years ago.
But I saw him in the church. You know the church at the Barking Road at the end where the old garage used to be, which is the Polish shop now. You know that church opposite the market.
Yeah.
I saw him now. He was there for something, and I saw him. Yeah, but yeah, he was a local boy. You did see
probably
him
praying he could get a move back to West Ham.
I would have took him. Listen, if he hadn't retired, I would have still took him.
Mate, I'll take him in 5 years' time.
Oh yeah. Thoughts out of every team that's after Rice and Prem, I'd rather him go to City. Don't want to see him at Man United, Chelsea. Best case scenario goes abroad, and even better, he stays at West Ham, of course.
I think someone put a question up there. I didn't mark it, but it's gone now. But it was about like there's been a debate over the last couple of days. I think it sort of started last night with Gareth Bale. Like, who is the greatest British player of all time?
British.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's Bobby Moore. You can't of all time. It's Bobby Moore, but
best.
You've got to throw the likes of Jimmy Greaves in there as well. He was
if I'm going in the last, let's just say the last 20 years, I've got to say Wayne Rooney, without a doubt. Wayne Rooney.
I think Giggs was better than Rooney.
No chance. No chance.
Nicky, I watched that Rooney documentary last week. I forgot just how good he was at 16.
Rooney was good. I think Giggs was better than Rooney.
Nah.
I do. Yeah.
It's that old debate, though. It's hard to say because they're two different players.
Everyone's going to have different opinions. No one's opinion is going to be right or wrong. Everyone's got different.
Some people could sit there and say John Terry because he's a centre back, but
Bobby Moore pisses all over John Terry as a centre back.
But you got. I mean, let's look at the.
You're looking at attacking players. You know, you've got the likes of George Best.
But you got Gascoigne.
Gascoigne, yeah.
Yeah, don't forget. Then you got like players like Kevin Keegan. You got Trevor Brooking,
Kenny Dalglish.
Kenny Dalglish. Players like that.
You got to sort of break it down into decades because you can sit here all night and debate for loads of people. But I mean, obviously Bobby Moore if you're going through sort of history. But there's been so many great players.
Bowie's up there though.
Who?
I think Bowie's up there.
I thought you said Dowie.
You are right, Nick. Bowie's out there, up there with some of the
I'll put him in probably. Yeah, I'll definitely put him up there. I mean, what he's achieved in the game. And it's a shame because he could have achieved a lot more. Yeah, he could have achieved a lot more in his career, but he's happy to sit on the bench and earn 600. I mean, let's be honest, he's got a fucking great life, isn't he?
Oh, exactly.
600 grand a week, plays golf every day in the sun. You know, turns up every now and again for Wales and is a national hero.
Bobby Charlton, that's another one.
Ubi Charlton, he said.
Yeah, the one above. Philip says Bobby Charlton.
Yeah, George Best is a great shout. He's a great shout. He was unreal. But if I'm going last 20 years, I can't look past Wayne Rooney. He was unreal. He's the best talent we've produced in this country.
In the past couple of years, you got to chuck Lampard in there as well.
Yeah,
you know, the goal scoring, the amount of goals that he scored, you know, the way he played in midfield.
There was another debate on TalkSport as well. Who's the better passer of a ball, David Beckham or Harry Kane?
Oh,
I mean, listen, I'm telling you now, Harry Kane's great, but Beckham could pass the ball with his eyes closed and get it to your feet wherever you were on the pitch.
So he'd drop it on a sixpence.
I watched the testimonial 2 years ago or 3 years ago with David Beckham in it. And that geezer was springing it around like he was in his early 20s.
Yeah, he was good.
That's the thing. I think they were also saying about like who gets in the England side now, Beckham or someone else. I think I'm trying to think what they were saying. It was Sterling. And one of them was saying Beckham, but someone said the game's moved on from what Beckham did. But the game, the way the game is played now, the way England play now, Beckham wouldn't play as on that right side of midfield.
He wouldn't. I don't think he'd play on the right side. I reckon he'd play in the middle.
I think David Beckham is one of the most underrated football players ever. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves.
I think he was class. I think he was class. Listen, crossing ability was sublime.
It wasn't just crossing ability, Scott. He could do everything apart from run. To be quite honest with you, it's the only thing he didn't have. Pace. If he had pace, he'd have been fucking world class. He could do it. Like some of the things I've seen him, even at West Ham, do at West Ham is phenomenal. I mean, fucking phenomenal.
You don't even need pace. Teddy Sheringham never had pace, but he was a quality player.
He could read the game. He was about.
I know players that
are passing in front of everyone.
I know players that have got a lot of pace but can't play football. They're not as good and can't do what other players can. So it's he was just a genius, and it was a privilege to grow up in that era. And someone's just said there about Paul Scholes as well. You can't overlook Paul Scholes, but the thing is with Paul Scholes, he couldn't tackle, he couldn't run. He was a good, he was a good player, but. When I think of him and Gerrard, who I'd rather have Gerrard over Scholes. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah, Scholes was a better passer of the ball, though. Better passer of the ball.
Yeah, I suppose, you could say that. And Paul Scholes was a great player, don't get me wrong, but, he just couldn't tackle. The only time, the best tackle I ever see him done, his dick fell out.
Yeah, I remember that.
His little what's it fell out. Just thought I'd chuck a couple of debates in there for you. It's Friday night, isn't it? Chill out, have a beer, debate all you want. Have a mass debate if you want, Greg.
Right, Ryan is a master debater.
Yeah. Gin. I wish I had your glasses and a cigar.
Yeah, that Greece game. He basically single-handedly dragged us through that game, didn't
he? Yeah.
I remember it was funny because, I think Teddy Sheringham wanted it, didn't he? Because Beckham had missed 6 or 7 free kicks in that game, and Sheringham was standing over it. He went, "Look, I'm having this," and Beckham just went, "Move. This is my moment."
You know what? I still remember where I was. When that game was going on. Do you remember where you was, right?
Weren't we up the West End?
We was on a train back from Oxford Street.
Think we just made it home in time to see that.
To see the free kick,
yeah, I remember.
I see it 1-0, then 2-1 down, and I was thinking, "Fucking hell, what's going on here?" To Greece as well.
Yeah,
and then
I think it was we was young and naive, and we took for granted that England was just going to smash in that.
Yeah,
game.
and then
West End instead.
We was on a train, and then I think we just walked into maybe the Becton Arms.
I can't remember where, but I remember,
and we saw it just as it went in. But who remembers the England 5 Germany 1 match from 2001? I think
I was down the cherry tree in Dagenham watching that.
Michael Owen hat trick, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Even he makes it 5. We're on the ball. 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 What a shit song that was.
Keith, chat, £5 from Keith saying, "What about Duncan Edwards, who died at 21 in the Munich air disaster?" And Bobby Charlton said he was the best player he ever played with.
I think if he hadn't died in the Munich disaster, he would have gone on to take Bobby Moore's position, or Bobby Moore came after him. But if he'd have got a run in the England side, Bobby Moore might not have got so many games for England.
Yeah, he was a. I watched the documentary.
From everything I've read about Duncan Edwards, he was a fantastic player. Yeah,
I watched a documentary on the Munich air disaster a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was on the anniversary of it, and it's tragic. But they was talking about Duncan Edwards and that, and they had Bobby Charlton on there, and obviously Jack Charlton at the time, who was still alive. And it's a shame. It's no age to die, is it? 21, and it was a sad loss to football.
This is a weird question, Nicky. What do you think of anxiety? No.
Oh, it's you. He didn't ask us. What do you think?
Well, no, everyone. When I say Nicky,
no, he's asked you, Nicky. What do you think of anxiety?
I don't like it. That's it.
It makes me twitchy.
Well, where I have to go with that? I don't like it. So was that? Has there been a football chant that you used to like, but then got fed up with? Mine was "We've got Payet."
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
100% Payet song. Fucking
the Pedro Fornell song. Can't stand it.
Pedro Fornell? Who's fuck's Pedro Fornell?
That's why you don't like it, Scott. Pedro Fornell.
Fucking Pedro Fornell.
I was looking at something else. Yeah, Pablo Fornell's.
You're stereotyping there, Scott. Pedro.
Yeah, no, that I can't stand that chant. It's a bad chant, but it's outdated now as well.
Mm. No one went Vienna.
They just keep on recycling it. I like that one, to be honest. I like that one. I'm getting a bit fed up with a massive one. To be honest, it's just over and over and over again. But
Pedro Fornell. Oh fuck! Hey, Pedro.
That's what happens when you don't pay attention all the time and you're doing two things at once.
What are you doing? Wanking and...
No, I was looking at... I'd say it popped up on my phone. I just had to look at.
What, he said Pedro?
No, I don't know what I was
yeah, Pedro.
You won't be.
Oh, sorry.
But no, it's all right.
No, I was just saying, Mike saying, Graham, who's your stylist? Probably got one by the look of it.
He is. I'll tell you what, he's looking a little bit stylish, isn't he, these days with the gogs?
It's because he lives near me now, looking after the boy, isn't I? We play football together.
There is one thing I would always say about
Trini
Graham.
and Susanna, eh?
There is one thing I would always say about Graham. He always looks impeccable.
Mm-hmm.
I must say that.
I'll try.
He's dressed. When he's dressed, he always looks impeccable. Apart from that one time when we went Blackburn, and I thought he was going to flip the car. But,
I know that's only because that geezer cut me up and I jumped. Ryan kept going, you look like you're going to go like Michael Douglas in Falling Down.
Graham, do you play walking football?
I can confirm that he does play walking football.
I do play over 35s football, but I'm not quite at walking football stage just yet.
No, as I repeat, you don't do no running on Mondays, so you do walking football.
I'll just stand there and ping it about. Well, I'll just do 1-2s with you, right?
Will Graham's camera get upgraded with the Patreon money? His camera looks all right to me.
I think I just need a lamp here, so to improve the lighting a bit.
Yeah, it's more the lighting, I think, with Graham's.
Yeah, I just need a to the side, so
someone said there, Joshua was saying he has corrected my name underneath. He's put, who's your favourite West Ham player of all time, Ryan? Yeah, look, he did put Ryan there. Julian Dix, my friend. Julian Dix, the one and only Julian Dix, all time. But Marky Noble's thereabouts. I've got my photo here. Look, where is it? To Ryan, best wishes, Julian Dix.
He's fighting with Keno.
Yeah. Julian all day long, mate.
I'm ready to go, boys, if you're ready.
Oh, well, let's all fucking pack up then. Niggas had enough.
I've got to eat, and then I've got to go work tomorrow. So. I can't see any more questions. If you can't see any more questions, just click them up, and then we'll do them. But I can't see any more.
Someone keeps repeating their question, and we've already answered that one.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Someone's.
Yeah, we've already.
Yeah, we've already answered that one.
That one.
Right. Someone's asking what year that football's from. The one behind you.
Fuck no, it's 2018.
So he stole that.
Was that the one you got when we was boating it down?
Don't tell you where we got it from.
No, but I know we went.
I say where I got it from. I couldn't give two bollocks. I had to get something free that night. All they had to do was give me that Italia 90 football, but they wouldn't, so I took the bigger one.
And then we went and got a bagel.
And I didn't nick it. I borrowed it. It's on loan.
Lads, if we win the Europa Cup, will any of you get a tattoo to celebrate it? That's a good question.
No.
I probably wouldn't.
No.
I'll
just get very drunk.
Yeah, I won't get a tattoo, but I'm sure there'll be scars from the celebrations anyway. So,
Elias wants the tickets. Come and all you got to do, mate, is get on Twitter and reply and retweet, and I'm going to sort some out. Who is your favourite player? Declan.
We need to go back to that question that you put up because we didn't answer that. You put
mate?
Any news on FMP2?
I thought we did answer that earlier. Or was I thinking about that?
No, not on FMP2.
No. Well, I promise you, because we get asked this quite a lot. As soon as we know, we'll tell you.
Yeah, we will be sort of concentrating on that in the next couple of weeks, trying to find a. As much as I love the other venue, you know, it was difficult for some people to get to. So we might try to go a little bit more central this time. Maybe look around the Stratford area, you know. So, there are a couple of venues in mind, but yeah, as soon as we know, you'll know.
Where can I buy one of the West Ham black shirts? I don't think you can, mate. I don't think you can.
I think they're still on the website, aren't they?
No, I don't think they are. No, they sold out fucking during that season. They never dropped the price of them. It's one of the most popular shirts we've ever had.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've still got mine, and it's still in a bag upstairs with a tag on in the wardrobe. I never wore it.
Oh, really?
I do that. I buy a shirt. Well, to be fair, my missus bought it for me, but I do that. I just don't. I'm not really one for wearing like replica, like the shirt you've got on now, the home shirt. I've got that. My missus bought that for me for Christmas. It's got Noble on the back, and it's got the Europa League badges. And I'll probably might wear that last game of the season, but I haven't wore a shirt like for years. Like I like replica shirts.
I buy them. I'll be honest, I buy them every now and then, but I end up giving them away. I don't use them. This is probably the most I've worn a shirt for ages. Like, I think I've worn this about 5 times this season. That's it.
I've got that saying my wall. I've got it hanging in my wardrobe.
Yeah. Ryan, leave it out. The in on the green was great.
That's how pissed Steve was. We didn't even have it in on the green. In the region. Oh, he had a great night that night. He started off in on the green. Graham likes you in on the green, didn't you, mate?
I don't. It's a good pub.
Last time you got all nervous. Remember that, Scott? He put his headphones on. Couple more questions. This one's for you, Graham. What toothpaste do you use?
I use Colgate.
You look like a Colgate man as well.
He does, doesn't he?
I think you turn your nose up at Aquafresh as well.
Oh no! If there's no Colgate, I'll go with a bit of Aquafresh. But
what was the one with the advert with the cartoon one with the family
the red
pajamas?
Colgate.
What, the red stripe, blue?
Yeah, red stripe, blue stripe, and white.
I think that was Colgate.
That was Aquafresh.
As you can see,
Aquafresh is all free.
Premium
protection for the family.
Yeah. See, look, Graham loves it, and you turn your nose up at Aquafresh, Graham. Shame on you.
I don't turn my nose up, but I normally have Colgate.
Do you know what toothpaste I like? I don't really get it no more, but I like the charcoal one when your mouth goes all black. I love that.
Too minty though. I don't like it. Why is it spicy? We'd love to win those tickets. It'd be great to see Colton and Dixie talking about West Ham. Again, Twitter, mate. Get on Twitter.
I'll put it up because it's been on here a few times. The Gambia West Ham United fans, welcome to the street.
Hello.
Yeah, we did mention this. Mike Dean's retiring.
Well, he's retiring, but I think he's moving to VAR. He's going to be like permanent VAR.
Oh God!
Can you imagine his last game?
It'll probably be West Ham Brighton, mate.
Oh, yeah. For fuck's sake, mate! He's going to be all over the fucking shop. You know.
West Ham Brighton. We need to win to get Europe.
Yeah.
As Neil Warnock,
he'll send someone off first 2 minutes.
As Neil Warnock said the other day, 10 years too late. The geezer is an absolute bellend. Like, it's always about him. Like, the way I watched someone put a video up of his highlights. And I said the arrogance of him. Like, I don't, when he books someone, but he don't even look at them.
Yeah.
I'd love to see someone just flop him right on his chin last game of the season. Mark Noble's retirement present. Just chin up the
Yeah, and he looks like Jasper Carrot as well.
Thing is, Mark Noble's retiring, so he can't get banned. Just fucking flop him one, Mark. Come on, do it for the West Ham fans. If Mike Dean is the referee, who's Pedro?
Yeah, but then he might not. He'll be banned, then he might not be able to play. He might want to play Sunday League or something.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Sunday League.
Wait, Joe Cole plays Sunday League.
Yeah, he plays.
True.
Yeah.
He plays in the Corinthian League. Yeah, Corinthian League. We see him over Raynor a few weeks ago.
Colebrook Royals Vets.
Colebrook Royal Vets.
Yep. Plays for them on a Sunday. As a centre half as well.
As a centre half.
Yep.
Yeah. Still scores about 2 a game, I think, though.
No, I
think that's cheating.
I think he scored a few.
He scored a couple, yeah. This is a team that at one point had him, Jamie O'Hara, Mark Wright, and Mark Wright's brother. You know the lads that do all the keepy uppies on the YouTubers,
the
freestylers, them.
They do more than keepy uppies, Scott. They don't just do kick ups.
I don't know.
That'd be that YouTube channel for longer than we've had the YouTube channel. Imagine if they just done that. They come out every week just doing.
That's all I know. I don't know what they do because I don't watch it. So that's just what that's all I can say they do. But yeah, they were all in a team together. I think the only one that still plays is Joe Cole.
Fucking hell.
Mad, isn't it? Like a player like Joe Cole playing Sunday League football at the levels we played Sunday League football.
Right, we done?
What was that sound? Is there any more?
Are you all right, Gray?
Yeah, no, just saying if anything's.
I love it now that Graham can see the comments.
Someone asked about Italy. We covered that. Shoot back earlier in the video, you'll see that we covered about Italy being knocked out.
Spoiler alert, we all laughed at them. That's what you get for beating England in the final. Yeah, well, there's no game to preview. Like obviously England tomorrow, Switzerland, 2 pointless. Well, I don't say pointless friendlies because obviously we need warm-ups for the World Cup, but I think we're playing Switzerland and is it the Ivory Coast we're playing?
Yeah, I think so.
Two. Thinking about it now, I wish I'd have got a couple of tickets for England tomorrow, but
two decent teams to play in different styles of play, so it gives him a chance to try some players out. And I don't think he probably knows roughly what his 11 is going to be for that first game in the World Cup, but it's the opportunity now. We've still got another 6 months till it starts.
I think they've only got 6 games together before the World Cup starts, so.
It's just going to be weird having a World Cup in November and the final week before Christmas.
Let's be honest.
I find it more weird that I'm going to be watching football in the freezing cold. Like everyone's going to be in the pub with like cups of tea, and there's no, like when you watch England in the summer in the World Cups in the Euros, everyone's out in the fields and like with the big screens of Fran beer. That's not. Everyone's gonna be crammed in. The pubs are gonna be packed.
It's a joke, isn't it? It's an absolute joke having it. Where they're having it, and the fact they're having it in winter is ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's
all about money.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Look, it's as ridiculous as Russia bidding to host the Euros in 2028. What's going on at the moment in the world, and they've allowed them to put a bid in. That's laughable. It's laughable. Look, as we turned around and said, it ain't the Russian people and all that, but just the propaganda of it all is just a joke.
Someone's asking for your next insurance number and tax code, Graham.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. I'll give that out, don't I? Yeah.
JP832488B.
Graham doesn't pay tax. He's a tax dodger.
I'm Jimmy Carr.
You look more like Alan Carr in them glasses.
Alan Carr. No, you do the best, Alan. Nick, you'll be like, oh, fuck's sake, don't start all that again.
There you go. Hold on 1 second. I'll put this up before we go. Anybody fancy boxing tomorrow night? You call one of our own, Mark Little, going for Southern Cruiserweight title.
Yeah, I'm gutted I can't be there. It's just I just ain't got the money. Honestly, I'm skint. I've got so much to pay for. It's my wife's 30th this month, so I've got a few things that I want to get sorted. But yeah, I'll be supporting Mark. Mark's a good friend of mine, so gutted I can't be there. I've been at his other fights, so good luck tomorrow, Mark. Smash it. Bring home that title.
Yeah, good luck, Mark.
Yeah, good luck.
There we go. Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's Friday Night Pint. We haven't got no content coming up previewing anything because it's not till Everton, but that will be next week. You can check out the podcast on the Patreon if you go and sign up for that. If you're not already a member, if you are, episode 8 is there. The highlights will be up tomorrow for the podcast, so go and check that out. It was had to be done remotely because of COVID this week, but we will be back in person. Not this week, but next week. Because I'm away on Tuesday. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're new around here, subscribe. Anything else, boys?
No, mate. No. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for all the comments. We really enjoy it. We'll be back next Friday night. One thing left to say. Come on,
you Irons.